Good afternoon, Manufacturing All-Stars, and welcome to this episode of Manufacturing Happy Hour. Today, you are going to learn how you can secure the connected enterprise. I'm joined by Mark Ewing from Claroty. Cheers, Mark.
Cheers.
Welcome to the show.
Hey, it's very good to be here.
We're happy to have you here, and just before we get into this big topic we've got today, give us a little background on Claroty so we've got some context on how your company fits in.
Sure. So Claroty is the leading OT cybersecurity company within the industry. So we have a number of critical, important partnerships that we've developed with ICS vendors, namely Rockwell Automation. And after a couple of years of working with Rockwell and as a partner, Rockwell also became an investor in Claroty. So very happy to have you on board, helping us to embark on that journey of securing the connected enterprise.
Yeah, well, I mean, you play a critical piece in this, and we're going to get to how Claroty fits in a little more in just a second. But first, let's get some background on the situation and the problem. Why is security and related to the connected enterprise and plant infrastructure so important right now?
So on the IT side of the world, we see people changing out computers every couple of years. So they're always replacing, putting in new systems and things like that. We know obviously on the manufacturing side, people put an investment into their infrastructure, and their equipment runs for 10, 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
So we've been doing that as Rockwell Automation, helping our customers automate their processes and become more efficient for the last several years. The next step in that journey is obviously with Rockwell going on and talking about the connected enterprise and the convergence of the OT systems with the IT systems to drive even more performance and more innovation and more less costly production and less costly connecting the supply chains and everything else. Tremendous efficiency you can gain there. But it also comes with a risk. So now you're connecting all of that old equipment that's going to be sitting there running for 10, 20, 30 years. You're leaving that open as an attack surface for bad things that could happen.
Right, and there's people have inevitably heard about the bad things that can happen when a cyber attack occurs, or even something smaller scale like a cyber event. But let's take it back to the positive. How does Claroty play into that to protect folks that are embarking on this journey from those type of situations?
So the first thing, the number one thing that most customers say is they would love to be able to protect their OT systems, but they don't know what's there. They have zero visibility into what assets they're trying to protect. So the first thing that we do is we give them visibility. We show them, hey, you've got a number of assets, and it's a Rockwell ControlLogix PLC with a certain MAC ID, IP address, and firmware version, and we discover that information and provide that to them so they know what they have. The second thing that we do is we look at how those assets are communicating with each other, and so that we know what normal operation looks like. And then anything that happens that's out of the ordinary. A new asset gets discovered that may not supposed to be there, then we can alert the customer and say, hey, there's a new asset that was just discovered on your network. You might want to go take action, figure out what's going on.
Now I always love talking about this in the context of like a real scenario that folks out there might be able to relate to. So maybe give us an example of an industry where this would be critical or how it would play into that.
So most people, when they think about cybersecurity, they think about things like critical infrastructure. They think about the utilities and the water departments and people like that. But what we're really seeing is it really affects everybody within a manufacturing environment. One example would be the life sciences industry. So you have companies that are making either life-saving medical devices or life-saving drugs that need to be, to the consumer in a reasonable amount of time. If you guys look back at the NotPetya attack, right? That happened back in 2017. It was well publicized that Merck lost almost $1 billion. And they had plants that were shut down for upwards of 2 months where they didn't produce a thing. If you're somebody who's reliant on their production to save your life and you can't get your devices or drugs or whatever it is you need, that can be a real problem.
Well, that's, it's an unfortunate example, but it's very real because, we talk about IT, OT convergence and a lot of, let's be honest, technical terms, but the reality is, it comes back to the human element of what we do, and life sciences, drugs, med devices, that directly impacts the humans that are impacted by manufacturing.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So as we wrap up this video, what would you say is a good first step or a call to action for our customer audience that's looking to get started today?
So if you want to get more information, you can go to our website, which is www.claroty with an OT, claroty.com, or you can contact your local Rockwell representative and find out more information.
Sounds great, and I will have a link to Claroty below this video as always. In the meantime, Mark, thanks so much for being on the show today.
Absolutely.
Cheers.
Cheers.
And for the rest of you out there, stay innovative, stay thirsty. You can still drink that.
I can drink that.
Yeah, stay thirsty, and we'll see you again here on Manufacturing Happy Hour real soon.
Very
Cheers.
Good. Cheers.